Olivia Walsh stepped through the glass doors of Mercer Consulting, charcoal blazer crisp, portfolio firm under her arm. Her half-smile was composed, ready. At the reception desk, Grace lifted her head, confusion already flickering across her face.
You're here for the interview? But that's not possible. You started last Monday.
I'm sorry. What? I'm Olivia Walsh. I have a final interview today.
Yes, Olivia Walsh. She's been working here for 5 days. She checked in every morning.
Olivia set her portfolio on the counter, a cold knot forming in her stomach. She pulled out her driver's license. Down the corridor, an office door opened. Catherine Mercer stepped out, saw Olivia, and stopped dead. Her face drained of color. One hand lifted halfway to her mouth, trembling.
Why is she looking at me like that?
The lobby went quiet. Grace glanced between them, her confusion thickening into alarm.
We need to talk. Now.
Catherine strode to her office. Olivia followed, pulse loud in her ears. Inside, Catherine pulled a manila folder from her desk and laid it open. The photo clipped inside was not Olivia.
That's my resume, my name. But the face is a stranger's.
This woman started last Monday. She had your resume, transcript, and your email address.
How? She has my entire professional identity.
She accessed sensitive client files within 2 days. This is a serious security breach.
Olivia's fingers went cold. Someone had stolen the life she'd built on paper and walked into this building wearing it.
Who would do this? Who could?
Catherine stared at the file, but her mind was somewhere else. Something else was tearing at her, something deeply personal. Catherine closed the file and looked directly at Olivia. Her voice, when it came, was softer than before.
What was your mother's name?
Elizabeth. Elizabeth Walsh. She died when I was a baby. A car accident.
Catherine's hand went to her chest. She didn't speak.
Elizabeth was my college roommate. She died the same way at 26.
She pulled open a drawer and removed a worn photograph, her fingers tracing the edge of the 2 young women. She placed the photo on the desk between them. The resemblance was a punch to the gut.
That's my mother. I've never seen her like this. So young, so happy. I never knew her like this.
The office fell silent. The stolen identity still unanswered, but now something older and heavier hung in the air.
Elizabeth was the best friend I ever had. When I saw you just now, for a moment, I thought she had walked into my lobby.
No one has ever spoken about my mother like that.
Catherine straightened her spine, a decision hardening behind her eyes.
I promised myself I'd honor her memory. This company, I built it after she died, because she believed I could. I won't let someone use her daughter's name to tear it down.
I don't know how to thank you. I came here for a job interview and now I'm sitting in the middle of a crime I don't understand.
Catherine reached across the desk, her hand steady and warm.
We'll understand it together. I have a head of security who's seen worse, and I have resources.
She picked up the phone and dialed an internal extension.
This is Catherine Mercer. I need you in my office now. It's an urgent breach.
She stood and motioned Olivia to follow. They walked side by side down the glass-walled corridor, a new alliance forming in the silence. In the security room, the head of security pulled up the imposter's access logs. The screen flickered with a timeline of entries. File names cascaded down the screen. Merger drafts, valuation spreadsheets, proprietary client profit and loss data.
This isn't identity theft anymore. She downloaded the entire Farnsworth merger file. That's a 7-figure deal.
Whoever did this isn't just ruining my name. They're selling a weapon.
The security chief pointed to a log from the imposter's badge. After-hours access. Twice.
She came back at night. She knew exactly what she was looking for.
A moment later, the breach tripped a larger alert. The data had been packaged into a compressed file and exfiltrated off-site.
This is corporate espionage. She could have sold this to a competitor already.
Catherine's jaw tightened. She turned to her security chief and spoke with cold finality.
Lock down every file she touched. Contact the clients. and find out who that woman really is.
Later, in her apartment, Olivia sat on the edge of her sofa, the day's revelations still thrumming through her.
Someone used my name, my history. That isn't a coincidence. That's someone who knew me.
Her memory pulled her back to the old house, the summer after her father remarried. Anna, her new stepsister, moved into the room next door.
Anna had a copy of the house key. She used my laptop once, said hers was broken. I never even checked what she did. She could have copied every document I had on there. My resume, my emails.
But it was more than access. Anna had always been shadowed by resentment, watching Olivia's achievements with tight lips.
Is she capable of this? Of becoming me to steal from a company?
Olivia pressed her palms into her knees, fighting the conclusion. If she was wrong, she'd be poisoning the only family she had left.
But if I'm right, I have to act. Even if it means my father never speaks to me again.
She reached for her phone, her finger hovering over her father's contact name. Before Olivia could dial her father, her phone lit up with an incoming call from Catherine Mercer.
Olivia, come back to the office. Security found something about the fake ID you need to see.
An hour later, Olivia stood in Catherine's office, staring at an evidence bag on the desk, the forged driver's license. The forgery was professional. Holograms, microprint. But the birth date was off by a single digit, corrected to match the real Olivia's records.
The email used to apply was your personal account with one letter changed. Who knew your mother's maiden name?
Only a handful of people would know that. My security questions, someone once asked about them casually. I never connected it.
Catherine watched her carefully, then asked the question Olivia had been dreading.
My stepsister. We lived in the same house at 18. She had access to everything.
What's her name?
Olivia's throat tightened. She couldn't say it, not yet. If she was wrong, the accusation alone would shatter her father's family. Later that night, Olivia sat alone in her apartment and dialed her father. The phone rang twice before he answered.
Dad, I need to ask you about Anna. Have you spoken to her recently?
His hesitation was answer enough. Then, guarded. She moved out years ago. We don't talk much.
Did she ever seem resentful? Like she thought I got opportunities she didn't?
The silence stretched. When he finally spoke, his voice had dropped. She always felt overshadowed by your success. She'd say it wasn't fair.
But I worked for everything. She never saw the effort.
He added that Anna had stopped returning his calls months ago. She'd missed Christmas without a word. Olivia's voice held steady, but her pulse was loud in her ears. She asked one more question.
Did she ever ask you about my job applications? The names of the firms?
All the time, he said, puzzled. I thought she was just proud of you. Then his voice sharpened. Olivia, why are you asking? She hung up. Late that night, Catherine Mercer sat alone in her office, the photograph of Elizabeth still on her desk. A name echoed in her mind, Stepsister.
Elizabeth sent me a letter once with a photograph of her daughter. I tucked it away for safekeeping.
She opened a cabinet and retrieved a small cedar box of old correspondence. Inside the box, she found a yellowed envelope and pulled out a snapshot. Elizabeth holding a baby Olivia. In the background, half-turned, stood a dark-haired girl. Catherine's hand froze. The girl's face was younger, but the bone structure, sharp cheekbones, dark eyes, matched the imposter's ID photo.
This is her. The stepsister. I've seen that face before.
She picked up her phone and dialed Olivia's number. It was nearly midnight.
Hello?
Olivia, I found a photograph. There's a girl in the background who matches the imposter's description. You need to come back right now.
Olivia didn't ask questions. She grabbed her coat and headed for the door, her heart slamming against her ribs. Within the hour, Olivia stood in Catherine's office, breathless. On the desk, the grainy security still of the imposter lay beside the old family photograph. Catherine held a tablet, splitting the screen between the old photo and the imposter's ID badge image. She zoomed in on the eyes.
The cheekbones, the jawline. The hair is shorter. She's wearing glasses, but the bone structure is identical.
That's Anna! She was 8 years old in that picture, and even then she was watching me.
The security chief typed on a laptop beside them, running the images through the firm's facial recognition software. A percentage bar crawled across the screen. It stopped. 92% match, probability of error, less than 1 in 100,000.
She didn't just steal a job. She built a new person out of my name and walked into my life.
Catherine placed a steady hand on Olivia's shoulder, her voice low and firm.
We have her name. We have her face. Now we find her.
Olivia lifted her chin, the tears still wet on her cheeks, but something behind her eyes had turned to stone. Catherine didn't go home. She sat with Olivia in the conference room as the security team widened the search. Anna's name, now confirmed, was run against every corporate database the firm could access. The first hit came from a healthcare analytics firm in Chicago. 16 months earlier, and Olivia Walsh had been hired there, worked 4 weeks and vanished. The day after she left, their client gene sequencing pipeline was breached.
That wasn't petty fraud. That was industrial espionage.
She didn't just steal my name once. She built an entire criminal career wearing it.
A second match surfaced, a private equity firm in Stamford. Again, Olivia Walsh had been hired, gained access to deal flow documents, and disappeared. The breaches were identical in pattern, a quiet insertion, a surgical extraction.
She's been compiling a portfolio of stolen data. This isn't just about us. She's preparing to sell something massive.
Then we have to stop her before she sells it. How do we find her?
Catherine picked up her phone, not to security, but to a number she'd kept on her desk for years, the Boston field office of the FBI.
This is Catherine Mercer. I have a confirmed identity theft case with potential interstate data trafficking. I need a cybercrime agent here tonight.
Olivia watched Catherine's face, the weight of the decision settling between them. This was no longer a private betrayal. It was a federal investigation. Within the hour, an unmarked black SUV pulled up outside the Mercer building. Agent Dana Cross stepped out, badge clipped to her belt, and strode into the brightly lit conference room.
Agent Dana Cross, FBI Cyber. Show me everything you have on this woman.
She reviewed the files in silence, then pulled up a federal database on her tablet. Her expression hardened.
Anna Walsh is already on our watch list. The method matches a known ring prepping a bulk data sale. We believe the transaction is imminent.
She's planning to disappear. If I don't act now, I lose her forever.
Catherine's phone rang. The security chief, his voice was urgent. Anna Walsh had booked a one-way flight out of Logan Airport.
Flight 877 to Caracas. Departs tomorrow evening.
She's not getting on that plane. I'm issuing an all-ports alert and freezing her passport. We'll have her before she reaches the gate.
At the Boston FBI field office, the alert rippled through the system. Anna's face was uploaded to every airport security checkpoint in the Northeast.
Don't let her slip away. Not now.
In his silent kitchen, Olivia's father pressed the phone to his ear. The line clicked open. He heard Anna's breath. His voice shook as he asked if the FBI's accusations were true. Had she really stolen Olivia's identity? On the other end, Anna's reply came flat and immediate. No hesitation.
It's true. I took her name. I took her job. She had every advantage while I got nothing. I deserved that life.
The line went dead. In the kitchen, her father dropped his head into his hands, the silence crushing. At the FBI command post, Agent Cross received an update. Anna's apartment was cleared, suitcase and passport gone, laptop still wiping data.
She's ahead of us. She's heading to the airport now.
How much time do we have?
Cross pulled up a GPS map. A red dot pulsed on Route 1A, heading straight for Logan Airport.
12 hours. If she reaches the gate, she vanishes.
Catherine gestured Olivia away from the command center into a quiet corner office overlooking the Boston skyline.
I know what this is costing you. Your father, your family. None of this is simple. But I want you to know, the real senior analyst role is yours, not out of pity, but because Elizabeth would have wanted you to have a fair shot.
She pulled a single-page document from her blazer pocket and held it out. It was a signed letter of commitment covering all legal fees for Anna's prosecution.
You shouldn't have to pay to be made whole. This is what Elizabeth left behind, not just a memory, but a promise that her daughter would be protected.
If I take this, I lose my father. If I refuse, I lose the only chance to stop her.
Elizabeth would have wanted you to fight. Not for revenge, for yourself.
I've spent my whole life trying to earn what she gave me. I don't know if I can walk away from that.
The letter trembled in Olivia's hand. Outside the window, the city slept on, indifferent. Olivia stepped into the empty corridor, the weight of the document steadying her hands. She pressed dial.
Dad, I need you to hear me. I'm accepting the job Catherine offered, and I'm testifying against Anna.
Through the speaker, a shaky breath. Then his voice, thread-thin and desperate.
No, Dad. Anna made this choice when she used my name to commit fraud. She didn't leave us a way back.
His response came in a broken whisper. Then you're no daughter of mine. The line cut to silence.
He just erased me, and I can't undo it.
She reached for the retainer. The pen felt heavier than it looked. Olivia Walsh signed her full name in clear, unhurried strokes. The ink dried instantly.
I'm not fighting for vengeance. I'm fighting because my mother's name deserves to mean something.
She carried the signed document back to Agent Cross. The manhunt now had its legal teeth. By dawn, the FBI had commandeered a windowless room. Olivia and Catherine sat before a bank of monitors, every terminal gate glowing in cold blue.
Target acquired. Terminal E, checking a bag. Flight 877 to Caracas, departure in 45 minutes.
On the grainy feed, a woman in dark glasses and a sharp bob pulled a small suitcase. She moved with unnerving calm.
She looks so ordinary, that's what makes her dangerous.
Catherine's fingers dug into the armrest. She leaned closer to the screen.
She's entering security. All units hold position. No contact until she's past the metal detectors.
Anna glided past the TSA checkpoint, not breaking stride.
That woman stole my name, and she has no idea we're watching.
At the gate, the agent smiled and lifted the microphone for the first boarding call.
Team 2, move to the gate, on my signal.
The boarding line shuffled forward. Anna Walsh took 2 steps, then stopped, her head turned sharply. 2 plainclothes agents closed the gap behind her, badges swinging from chains around their necks.
Anna Walsh, you're under arrest for identity theft, fraud, and data trafficking.
She bolted straight into the chest of a third agent who had materialized from the jetway.
You can't do this. I have a flight.
The agents forced her wrists behind her back. The cuffs clicked shut. 50 yards away, Olivia stood frozen in the security office doorway, Catherine a step behind her.
You think you won? You have no family left. You're nothing.
She took everything I had, but I'm still here.
Catherine's hand pressed firmly against Olivia's back. Together they watched Anna disappear into the security corridor. 3 days later, at the FBI field office, Olivia sat across from Agent Cross and gave her formal deposition.
She used my name, my mother's maiden name, my childhood address, every detail she could exploit.
Catherine's legal team filed the motion the same morning. The document was stamped, sealed, and entered into federal record.
The charges are ironclad. Identity theft, securities fraud, attempted data trafficking. She won't see bail.
At the arraignment, the judge read the charges aloud and denied bail. Anna Walsh sat rigid, no longer the composed imposter.
It's real now. She's locked away and my hands are finally clean.
In Catherine's office, they sat side by side and watched the news footage of Anna's perp walk.
The FBI already has everything they need for trial. You can start breathing again.
But the victory feels hollow. My father's voice still echoes in my head.
The legal gears ground forward, but for Olivia, the quiet aftermath was its own reckoning. 2 weeks later, Olivia Walsh walked through the Mercer Consulting lobby again. This time, she wasn't a candidate. She was an employee. Catherine met her at the elevator bank with a rare, unhurried smile and guided her past the glass-walled conference rooms.
Your desk is over here. I had something small placed on it before you arrived. I hope you don't mind.
The desk was clean and modern, a sleek monitor, a nameplate engraved Olivia Walsh, and beside the keyboard, a small silver photo frame. Inside the frame, behind clean glass, was the snapshot Catherine had found in her cedar box, Elizabeth, young and laughing.
She gave me back my mother, not as a memory, as something I can reach out and touch.
She would be proud of the woman who sat down here today. I don't say that lightly.
Olivia's fingers brushed the edge of the frame. Her throat tightened. But it wasn't pain. It was recognition.
Thank you. For all of it. For seeing her in me.
Catherine nodded once and turned away, leaving Olivia to her first day with her mother's smile beside her. Olivia settled into her chair. The keyboard felt cool under her fingertips. Tucked behind the photo frame was a small, folded note. She unfolded it slowly. The handwriting was Catherine's. Elizabeth believed in second chances, so do I. Her thumb traced the edge of the paper. She pressed her lips together, but a quiet shudder ran through her.
She knew exactly what I needed to hear, even from a woman I never met.
Olivia's hand drifted to the thin gold chain at her collarbone, the locket her mother had worn before the accident.
You'd be proud, Mom. I finally stood on my own.
She set the note aside, opened her laptop, and logged in. The screen lit up with her first assignment.
This is real. I'm a senior analyst. I earned this.
Around her, phones rang and keyboards clattered. She was no longer an outsider.
I'm not just my mother's daughter. I'm exactly who I was supposed to become.
A few weeks later, Olivia sat in a cold courtroom hallway. The preliminary hearing had begun. Anna Walsh walked past her in handcuffs. Her dark eyes scanned the corridor, but she didn't look at Olivia. She looked smaller. That afternoon, Olivia walked into the Mercer building. The familiar logo above the lobby settled something inside her. In the break room, Catherine handed her a mug. They stood by the window without speaking, the coffee warming their hands.
The prosecution updated me. Anna will likely plead out. No trial, but serious time.
I'm ready to let the courts handle it. I've started looking forward instead of back.
That evening, in her apartment, Olivia's phone vibrated. The screen showed a voicemail from her father's number. She listened in the dark. His voice was thick. "Olivia, it's Dad. I'm sorry. I should have protected you. Please call me."
He finally said it. That word, it doesn't fix everything, but it's a step.
In his silent kitchen, her father set down the phone. The silence between them was no longer hostile. It was waiting. The office had emptied hours ago. Olivia sat alone at her desk, the monitor's soft glow the only light on her face. She reached for the silver frame, her thumb tracing the glass over her mother's smile.
I'm okay, Mom. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
She set the frame back carefully, aligning it with the edge of the monitor. She logged off, the screen going dark. The only light now was the city beyond the window. She stood and looked out at the Boston skyline. The towers glittered, indifferent and permanent. Then she turned off the desk lamp. The last pool of light vanished, leaving only the photograph in the faint ambient glow. She walked out of the office, the glass door whispering shut behind her. The desk sat in silence, the silver frame still. Some gifts arrive from the past, not to trap you, but to push you forward. Olivia Walsh kept walking, but on her desk, Elizabeth smiled, waiting for morning.